Hello everyone, we're here at the property again. I'm here at the property again. I got a few things going on today. I wanted to run by you guys so you guys can kind of see what's going on today. We have my HVAC tech coming out. I had gas turned on yesterday in the property, and when the gas was turned on, everything was working. However, the unit kept cutting off and on. And so he told me that we probably need to get it serviced. And one thing I want to show you guys is that typically when you're in an older home, those units, if you don't have to replace the unit, normally you typically are going to replace the thermostat. So that's just something, a feature that you kind of always just kind of build into the renovation cost, is that you're going to replace the thermostat at least, if not the whole unit. And that's about $250 to $350 just to replace that thermostat. But that's something you do when you're rehabbing a property. I'm also going to get the AC unit serviced as well. So I was going to do that anyway. That's not a big deal. However, I also have my plumber coming to do another walkthrough because there's a few changes, not a few changes, but some things I want to show him. So he's going to be here in a little while. Today, I was here demoing yesterday, demoing the bathroom, and always get surprises when you're demoing and doing anything and flipping. This is the dirty work of flipping, to be honest with you. So I was demoing the floor, pulling the floor up. It had some vinyl on it. And when I pulled it up on the subflooring, I noticed a big hole right there next to the bathtub itself. So obviously there was a leak. The wood floor is rotted. And at the end of the day, it caused a hole that's there. So that's not a good thing at all. The subfloor we were probably going to reinforce anyway, but now because it's next to the tub, I wanted to keep this tub. So this is my issue here. I wanted to keep this tub in. I wanted to keep the tile, even though it's not a color I like, and just reglaze it, have everything reglazed and have it look good. That's what I actually wanted to do, right? However, things always change. So this is a change order. So once I demoed the floor and pulled the tub, toilet out, pulled the vanity out and everything, and saw this right here, that's going straight down to the crawl space. I realized that under this floor, it's all rotted. So it's rotted under the tub. You can see it kind of pulled down from the tile that's up there, and that's because that floor down there reinforcing this tub under the floor, under the tub, has been decayed and rotted out, and now it's weak. So this is where principle kind of comes in. Could we doctor this up and hide it, cover it over with new tile and everything, and maybe the owner might not know, maybe even the inspector doesn't catch it? Yeah, you could, but you know what? I live by the golden rule: do unto others as you would have them do unto you. So, I mean, you know it's weak down there. You know it's not stable. Over a period of time, the tub would probably sink in even more, and maybe even something worse. And so the best thing to do is to go ahead and pull this tub out and reinforce the floor under the tub and then replace the tub. Now, this is a cast iron tub. This is a cast iron tub. This cast iron tub is not meant to come out. This thing, I don't know if any of you have ever done this before, but man, these cast iron tubs, they're heavy. It takes probably two to three people to actually move one of these tubs out. They're not light like they look. They're extremely heavy. They're not made to come out. And so basically, you can't just pull it out like you want to. Basically have to break it out. So I just came back from Harbor Freight, and I went and picked up my 10-pound sledgehammer because my sledgehammer wasn't gonna do this job right here. And the only way to pull this thing out is to basically sledgehammer it in the middle, cut it into pieces, break it into pieces, and pull it out piece by piece because it's extremely heavy. You first got to undo all of your plumbing. Make sure it's not connected. Make sure it's not connected around here either. If it's screwed into a stud, make sure it's not screwed into the stud. And then you break it in pieces and pull it out in pieces. And then we're going to reinforce all the flooring that's under this tub. On top of that, again, I was going to keep this and reglaze this whole thing, but I got to pull all of the tile out as well. So I started pulling the tile out, as you can see. And of course, nothing is easy. Hardy Becker boards are used behind tiling when they're doing in showers and tubs. But this is an older home, and so they did the good stuff. What did they use? Concrete reinforced with all of this. What does that mean? This was a nightmare to try to pull out. Typically, you can take your hammer drill. This is the hammer drill. This is the tool. This is the tool that we use to try to get in there and to get into that tile to go ahead and break that tile free. And normally that does a pretty good job. It'll come right off. But because it was done with this reinforced concrete here, this stuff doesn't peel right off. So you have to basically take a sledgehammer and you have to go to work pulling this off. And it is not easy. That's why I only got one of these done yesterday and part of this wall. And what I'm going to do now when I get done with this video is go ahead and sledgehammer all the rest of this off to the studs. So you're going to ask why to the studs. Well, we're going to do a bathtub tile surround wall. So it's an all-in-one unit. And what that does is it goes directly, there's different types, but the type I'm getting goes directly to the studs. It will be screwed straight onto the studs. We don't have to put Becker boards behind it. The surround wall will be pushed straight up against the studs. It'll be screwed on by my contractor. And it's basically an all-in-one. And I'm also going to put a new tub in with that surround wall on there. The other thing you'll see is that I open it all the way up. There's a bathroom. This is the shower that we're going to be adding on the other end. It's great that these bathrooms are right side by side because they're using the same plumbing. All the plumbing lines run from both bathrooms and both bathroom showers and tubs. They're next to each other. So that's great for the plumber. So I opened it up. Anytime you're kind of doing demo and you have plumbers that you're working with, open it up because they're going to have to get in there anyway. And if you open it up, they're able to see the plumbing lines. You're able to see the plumbing lines, as you can see right there. It's easy access for them. You have a drywall person that's going to come, and they're going to do all the drywall anyway. So basically, it can be done. You want to get the plumbing stuff done before you bring your... So I have drywall scheduled for next week. And if I don't get my plumber in here to get the plumbing lines done, then he's not going to be able to do the drywall. He'll do the rest of the house. And then I'll have to bring him all the way back. And it'll be more money to bring him back just to kind of do the bathroom. So in stages in your scope of work, you want your plumbing done first before drywall so that all that plumbing can be done. It's easy. Your drywall person can come and drywall everything after it's done. After the roughing, we call it the roughing. After the roughing is done, they can come and drywall it. But that's good. So you open it all the way up so they have access to it. We're going to change all of the valves out, obviously, and there's some plumbing lines that we're going to obviously going to have to change out. We have copper running through here, which isn't the greatest. Would much rather have PEX, and most likely we'll probably swap out most of that with PEX. I know this whole assembly is going to get it replaced. The whole assembly is going to get replaced. I already hear some leaking in there. So, and that's going straight down into the crawl space. So we're going to replace all of this before we put the walls back up and make sure that there's no leak, no issues, so that we'll never have to go back, or the buyer will never have to go back in there and fix it. All of this is going to be replaced. The plumbing is all going to be done. This is the master bathroom. This is the one where I demoed the wall because we're going to be making that into a stand-up shower. And that's where initially the water heater was. You can see the water heater lines. But what's really good, and why do I do all this? Why don't I know some of you guys are going to ask the question, but you can see that, again, the lines run right next to each other. That is easy access for the plumber. That is great. We still got to do the drain in here. And this is kind of what I was kind of sharing with you guys about the floor under the tub. This could have been hidden Okay, we could have just patched this up, and when you see a completed rehab, they would have never known. But look how this floor is rotted out. I mean, that's really bad. That's really bad right there. And again, could this have been patched up? Yes, but I'm telling you, if you're a flipper, please don't do this. If you're rehabbing a house, please don't do this type of stuff. I don't care if you're trying to save money or whatever. That's just bad business, and it's not good morally. You want to fix these problems. You want to make sure that it's stable, that it will last a long period of time. In fact, you almost redid it, made it last, gave it more life. Make sure you do the right thing all the time. So I want to talk to you about why do I do all this. So we obviously I have contractors. I mean, I'm not the contractor, but I do a lot of this work on hand. So there's multiple reasons. One is because obviously you want to save money. Can you pay someone to do all of this? Yes. But if you can do some of the work, it saves you money. And the bottom line is about saving money, making money. It's more money in my pocket the more that I can do myself if I have time to do it. The other reason is because it saves money with my contractors. So here's an example. Come in here and I haven't done any of this. They have to do this themselves, right? Then they have to clean it up. They got to demo it. All of that goes in your quote. But if you have already, there are certain things that you can do for each thing, even your electricians, your flooring, definitely with your plumbing, little things that you do that make a big difference with pricing. I've already opened this up for them so they can see it and get access to it. Everything is laid out for my plumbers to come in here and swap out, cut pipes, cut lines, do what they need to do. They don't have to get to it. They don't have to spend time getting to it because it's already there. That I'm going to save money on. And I make sure they know that. Look, this is open. It's easy. You get to it. Just swap out these valves. Do what you have to do. It's easy access in the crawl space to get to these pipes here. Everything's next to each other. I'm going to get a better price on my plumbing because I have done this. If I haven't done this, they can come in, they open it up, and then they say, oh, well, this, and that. So I save money with that. I save money also because I'm adding the stand-up shower here, but I've cleaned and demoed everything for them. They don't have to do any of this. This is already ready to go. You see? And so all they need to do when I buy my pan is outline where the drain's going to be, cut the hole out for the drain, and run the piping under the house for the drain. So what I'm saying is that, like, why are you doing all of this? But I'm doing it all because it saves me money in the long run. It saves me money from my contractors. When they come to do their work, they can get straight to it. Plus, I know exactly what needs to be done. And when they do their walkthrough, I can tell them this is where this is and this is what we need to get done. Instead of just giving it to them and letting them walk through it and do it all themselves, and then they give me an outrageous money, or you an outrageous amount for how much it's going to be to do the work. So I'm going to go ahead and get to work now. I'm going to go ahead and demo this. Again, if I didn't do this, they would have charged me a few $100s to go ahead and demo this, the tile and the tub itself. Maybe even more than that. I think at some point, sometimes they'll charge you $500 just to move a tub out. I'm going to save that. If you can do it yourself, do it yourself. Save that money. It all adds up. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start putting some labor in myself. I'm gonna demo this tub. I'm gonna get the tub out. I'm gonna get everything ready for my guy that's doing the flooring. He won't have to do anything except for come in here, reinforce the floors, and we'll be good to go. So I'm gonna get to work, you guys. God bless, and hopefully maybe I'll show you some pictures of the demo once it's completed. All right.